Well, kind of a slow day, kind of enjoying it. That dude that I said I wasn't going to do any more work for, that has that lawnmower repair business, well, he figured out another way to get me to work on his stuff and just claim everything's under warranty. So he's bringing a mower over today saying the carburetor's leaking. I worked on it. All I did was clean it. So he, I know for a fact, ran it for 4 lawns. And then he brought it back. We changed the belt on it. I ran it around testing the belt, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. Ran fine. I ran it up there, put it on the wagon, or on the trailer, wagon, and ran fine. So now it doesn't run. Gas is pouring out everywhere. It's a, you know, it's obviously a carburetor issue. It's most likely a fuel line issue. It has gotten cut somehow or another, or broke, or so he's going to want that under warranty. I can just see it. I mean, just his attitude. The carburetor's leaking, and if I recall, you worked on that the last time it was there. So the thing is how do you see the carburetor? It's hidden. You can't on the Beach Winds. I think on the Kohler, you can't see it unless you take off the air filter. I think it's in the way. I mean, if we look at my Kohler, which is designed is slightly different. I mean, I'll give you that. But if I recall, you can't see it. I think it's tucked up underneath there. So the only thing they know is they have a gas leak. But there's the air filter, and right behind it is the carburetor. So I'm not entirely sure you can see it. I'm just curious now. So if it's a fuel line that is broke, that's a different issue. So I'll just take a video and say, nope, fuel line. They're still going to expect the labor to be free. I can almost assure you. Yeah, you can see the top of the carburetor here. I want to go around and take a look from the other side. See if you can see that fuel line. Yeah, you can see it. But really hard to see. So no, I would imagine they're just guessing. They got a fuel leak. They say it doesn't run. Well, the fuel leak from a carburetor that was running a moment ago would just be a leak. It would still run. The bowl would leak is what would be leaking. So if the fuel line fell off and the fuel pump's pumping fuel through it, then obviously it's not getting any fuel. Of course, that wouldn't run. So I don't know. Just anything to get free work is what he's trying to do, and it's been like that ever since I met the guy. So I got this running. It just needed a carburetor swapped out. It was leaking fuel too, and it was running. See, leaking fuel through the bowl. It was running. Anytime it's the bowl is leaking, or not the bowl, there's a needle valve in there. The fuel go by. I always change out the carburetor. I'm not going to rebuild it because that's just dangerous. If I don't resolve the issue and it starts leaking down the road. But I didn't rebuild that one. I just cleaned it, just to be clear. And since it's fuel pump, it would shut off. See, the fuel pump shuts off when you shut the engine off, so more gas wouldn't be flowing through it. It only pumps gas when it's running. And if it's pumping too much gas and that float would be up, it would still run. It would just run badly. It'd be like a choke. But anyway. So anyway, I got this running. But I checked the oil. Oh my goodness. It was syrup. I don't know why I took the gas cap off. So I had to change the oil 4 times. And you can still see there's some yuck on it. 4 times. I would run it, drain it, run it, drain it. But I had to do that because the knocking was so bad. It was from the oil being so thick. I was afraid to warm it up too much. I would warm it up just a little bit, put some new oil in it, drain it out, put some new oil in it, run it a little bit longer, and just to warm it up a little bit more so I could get that oil to circulate around. And finally, on the 3rd one, it ran long enough that it got hot, and then I could drain it, because I was afraid, you know, that knocking was just going to tear this up. So I didn't run it on the fourth one, but I felt pretty good with the third one. So I tell you, I don't understand why anybody would spend that much money on a mower that they obviously are not taking care of. It's I wouldn't pick this up, so there was pickup and delivery fees also, plus the carburetor. I had to replace the carburetor. I mean, it was only a $10 carburetor, so it's not like my labor, but it was the oil changes that's going to run up the cost. I mean, let's say I used, I don't know, a quart of oil. I mean, there's $10. Pretty easy. So I'm not sure. I mean, this is a 2008. Let me check. 2000. Yep, 2000. So 08 right there. So 2008. So I mean, it's what, 14 years. Let's see. It's 14 years old, I guess. Is that right? No. 16 years old. I guess it's 16 years old. Don't do YouTube math. It's terrible. You can't do math when you're recording a video. I don't know why, but a lot of people can't do it, including me. And I'm pretty good at math. So, what else is going on? It's been so hot. This kind of off-grid thing. People, you need to get back to off-grid. Which I said, this isn't about off-grid anymore. I'm thinking about changing the name of the channel to something like Living Your Dreams or something. I don't know. But the solar panels are getting so hot that they're not producing enough volts. I'm getting plenty of amps, but not enough volts to charge it up to the proper specifications. You should be getting your batteries up to 14.3 volts before nighttime. And these are only getting up to 13.6 because, so I'm just gonna use easy figures. So if your solar panels typically, oh man, my nose is dirty. I got dirt all over me. So if your solar panels typically produce 20 volts, which is for a 12 volt system, you have to have more. So how do you explain this? Everybody calls it 12 volts, which is true. It's about 12.3 is the minimum you can go on your solar panels. And when the battery is not charging, it's fully charged, your batteries will be about 12.8 volts. So they just call it 12 volts. But in order to charge your batteries, you need to get up to 14.3 volts. So in order to do that, solar panels will get up to 20 volts. But then you have the charge controllers that convert some of the volts, that's too much, into amps, and you get more amps that way. And it's pretty cool, actually, these new charge controllers. Back in the old days, they didn't have these fancy charge controllers. So as the temperature increases, the voltage on your panels will drop. If your panels produce 20 volts and then your charge controller takes a few volts of those and changes it into amps, now your charge controller is about 18 volts on a nice day, 72 degrees or below. So you're making enough electricity. Even if you get up to 80 degrees, the solar panels don't care. That still works. But when you start getting up into the 90 degree range, the solar panels drop voltage too much. So let's just say they're producing 16 volts instead of the 20. And so there's now not enough volts to get the batteries up to 14.4 volts. So 16 actually converts into about 13.6 volts charged. That's it. But you need to get your batteries up to 14.3. So we're not getting enough charge. So in the morning time, I know people are gonna say, you see, I don't live off grid, but I don't care. So in the mornings, I am running the generator for a few hours every morning to charge the batteries. That way, I have enough battery at nighttime. So during the day, the solar panels are producing enough energy for us to run around, to run the freezer and all the things that we need to do, but not enough to do all that and charge. Even though we're getting lots of amps, which typically amps is always the issue, but not during the hot summer time. So tomorrow we should be in pretty good shape. I'm not going to run the generator tomorrow unless it's cloudy. It might be cloudy, I don't know. So so I can see if the solar panels are okay. I know they are. This happens all the time. Now, I learned something a long time ago, well, about 5 years ago. Even back 20 years ago when I had solar panels, I would take a hose every few hours and cool them off. But I found out that it causes microfractures in your solar panels. And I have microfractures because I did that when we moved here. I would, on a 90-degree day, come out and cool them off with some well water, and it was cracking the solar panels. And I see the micro. So you lose some effectiveness. Now, solar panels only last about 20 years. Now, they say that. It's not like they're just going to stop working in 20 years. They just start to lose some of their wattage. I would imagine that I lost some of my wattage. Now, the question is, did I lose volts or amps? If I'm losing volts, then that's a problem. But if I'm just losing amps, well, that's not a problem because I can just add more solar panels and get more, you know, and balance out what I need. So let's say I lose 5 amps. Well, I just get one more solar panel and that will take care of my 5 amp loss over the 20, what do I got now, 20, 16? I don't know, I think about 20. I'm not sure, oh no, I got 12, that's what it is. Why did I come up with 20? Yeah, it's 6 on each charge controller. So I just would need one more. The other thing about volts and amps is cumulative. So each solar panel produces 5 amps, and then you multiply that times your number of solar panels, and that's how many amps you got. So 5 times 10 would be 50 amps. So, but voltage, it doesn't matter where you get the voltage from. You could get voltage from one solar panel. So let's say you had a solar panel that was producing 1 volt, but lots of amps. Let's say, I mean, just for argument's sake, I had a windmill. I made a windmill one time, and it didn't produce any volts, none. But it did produce amps, lots of amps. But I connected it, there's a mosquito here, it's driving me crazy. But I connected it to the solar panels. So the solar panels were producing 20 volts. The windmill was producing 1. So the system, all connected, was producing 20 volts. The highest voltage was the solar panel, so it was doing that. Now, the solar panels were only producing 5 amps, but the windmill was producing 15, so I had a total of 20 amps. I don't know if that makes sense, but volts, you only need 1 to supply enough. But amps, you need all those to supply enough. We'll get through this hot spell and we'll be back to normal, but I did realize I don't want to crack my solar panels anymore, so I'm not cooling them off. You know, what's interesting is they say that solar panels are still effective even though in the hot summer months they don't produce as much energy. Well, I just, you know, as they do in the winter. So they said you'll make it up in the winter because in the summer you're not making as much. You make it up in the winter because you're making all the amps and volts. Well, there's just 2 problems with this. The first problem is in the winter it's cloudy a lot more than it is in the summer. And in the winter, your days are shorter. So in the summer, you get longer days. So I don't agree that you make more energy in the winter than you do in the summer. I think it's about equal. The best time is right in between, the best time to make energy is right in between the summer and spring months where, you know, it'll rain for a day and then it's sunny for a day. Those are the best times, and also in the fall. But winter and summer is pretty tough. So you get, what, 2 months a year that are really tough. January maybe the end part of December, and then July and August, part of the August. So, but that's okay. We got through it. So if you click this up next box, it'll take you to a video on my other channel. Really appreciate it. Go check it out. So if I can inspire you to live your dreams, so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.